Hello. Hello. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It's me again. So this week is week 9 already. So after we learned last time about the theories of the research methods in the previous weeks in the midterm part, today we're going to show you some of the way before you do the project-based small scale research project. So I'm going to tell you about some of important things that is your ability or your ways, your awareness or motivation regarding to read some samples of the research methods that the previous scholars or researchers have just transferred or written in the research articles. And then it's easily to find the research methods or to list or to rank or even to analyze the research methods used by the previous researchers. So everyone, I guess you have to be ready for this lesson. So and pay attention so that you could have a deep understanding before you do the task. Okay, so let's have a look at here. As I told you that today is week 9, and so this project or this task is for week 9 and week 10, and you're gonna read some articles or journal articles. Last time I told you to read articles, for example, from the Science Direct, also from the Taylor and Francis online. You can search a million articles on that platform. And back to the focus of our task today is that you're gonna answer these 2 questions. So the first question is that you're gonna answer what kind of research methods are commonly applied in English language studies for the last 10 years, and how do these kinds of research methods operate to achieve the defined goals. Okay, first of all, to answer these questions and to let the readers know that these questions are ready for the read for I mean the leadership of your project attracting lots of people. For example, not only those who read your articles in the Indonesian scale, but also others can see the examples of your articles of the small scale research project. Have a look at here. So for this week, so week 9, we would like to work on this one. So we're gonna fill out the tables to answer these questions. How do we find out the answers? It's not a direct way in answering this question, but first of all, you have to look at the or read the articles, reputed articles. One thing that you have to do is that you're gonna write some important things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. So 5 important things you have to write down there in this table. First one is you have to pay attention about the references. So you're gonna write down here in the references, you're gonna write down the author's name. So who is actually the author's name? And then after you write down the author's name, you also write down the titles of the articles that the writer the writer write in the articles. Okay, the title of the articles. And after you write it, before you write the title R1, you have to write first, see in what year the article is published. So year of publication. Okay, year of publication. And the third one is the title of the article. Title of the article. Okay, title of the article. Remember, you have to focus on looking at the title of the article, which is in line with your major. Like, for example, what kind of method actually, for example, in teaching speaking, what kind of method that the researcher use in teaching speaking, in doing the conducting research dealing with the speaking skills and so on. So the focus here is English language teaching. And then after you write down the title of the article, don't forget to see the journal name or the journal name, yeah? The journal name, okay, journal name. What is actually the journal name? And don't forget to see the volume of the journal, also the issue and the issue, yeah? Issue or number, volume, volume number and the issue. Don't forget to, if you read, so from what page this article is starting and end. It usually, if the articles published in a journal, like they are compiled, it usually not starting from page 1 to page 10, but sometimes they are in the middle of the, I mean, they are not like, yes, they are not in the middle, like, yeah, they are sometimes put in the middle of the of the journal. So sometimes the page number are different. So if the page number here, paper pages, from what page to what page, okay? And don't forget to attach the URL. Where did you get the URL of the article or journal article? Okay. So you could write down here. Let me give you example here. For example, my article, let me have a look at. So I actually write this article with up to co-authors. So I myself the first author, for example, like you have to write down my name first. So Molina. Okay, Molina. So you have to write down the last name first, last name, and then followed by the initial one. So Molina, comma, and M. Because I have two co-authors, you have to write down the last name first, course co-authors, because my first co-author is Muhammad Basri. So I have to write down Basri M. Okay, so last name first and then first name. Okay, or last name first name and the middle name. So Basri M, comma M, and then another last name, last co-authors. So I write down N there. His name is Nurdin Noni. So I write down his last name Noni and Nurdin. Nurdin is just initial. The initial of Nurdin is N. Okay. So that's the author name. And the year of publication, for instance, is 2020. Okay, and then full stop. And then the title of the article, let me have a look at here. Motivation and self-confidence. Self-confidence in speaking, for example, speaking English. In speaking English. Okay, after you write down the title of the article, then you have to write down the journal name, because this article is published in a journal name called Asian EFL Journal. So I write down here ASEAN EFL Journal. Okay, comma. The volume, for instance, volume 7, issue 3, for instance. Okay, and the paper pages, because it is not one page article, but it has more than one pages article. So paper page is 100, for example, 105 to 120, for example. And the URL, you can have a look at here. So retrieve, if possible, you have to attach the URL. Retrieve from, so the HTTP is here. So the website link here, okay? So let me have, okay, see the example here. So Maulina, so last name first, and the first name you have to initialize the first name, and then the second author, last name and the first name, and then the last co-authors if the article has 3 authors, yeah. Okay, and last name and the first name. Publication year. This is the title of the article and the journal name. Don't forget to italize this one. The journal name should be like this, italic. Okay, don't forget the volume also should be italic. So the name of the journal should be italic and the volume should be italic. That's for articles. Okay. Just follow like this one. Yes, this is we follow the APA style journal, APA style referencing 7th edition. So that's about the first thing you have to notice before when you read the articles. So you have to recognize first the articles before you jump into the content of the article, because there is the term that tidak kenal maka tidak sayang. Okay, so if you don't see first or recognize first who is actually the authors of this article, what's actually the title and what journal is this article is published, or then you don't actually know what you are reading. The second thing, this is just the example, so you're gonna follow the rest. So 1 until 10 articles, you have to look at the articles. Remember, the articles you read is articles for last 10 years, okay, 2012 until now. So the problems, to write down the problems here is very easy. You can just have a look at in the introduction part of the article. In the introduction part, usually the article for the empirical research articles, it has the introduction, it has the research method, a literature review, research method, finding, discussion, and conclusion. So to find out the problems stated in the article, it's very easy. You can have a look at in the introduction part. Remember, you have to reword by your own word, but not like different meaning of the restating what actually the authors have written in the problems. Okay. Oh, the third one is the research method. This one is actually the crucial one, the most crucial one you have to identify. That is the research method. What's actually the research method? It's usually, it's easy to find out the research method. Sometimes the authors write down the research method in the introduction part, but mostly the authors or researchers write down the research method in the method of the research or methodology after the literature review, okay, or after the introduction. The research method. Remember, the research method, if it's qualitative, pay attention which types of qualitative method that the researcher used. For example, if the researcher write down qualitative, please identify whether the researcher write down content analysis, document analysis, or even phenomenology or so on, like a previous meeting we have learned, right? And if the researcher write down quantitative, please look deeply what kind of actually the research quantitative research that the authors use. Okay, does the researcher use the pre-experimental or factorial design or even correlational or even survey? So please attention to that thing. So you just write down it here. For instance, pre-experimental. problems for problems. Sometimes it's written in a statement. Okay, statement followed by questions. Questioners. Okay, questions. This is question. And the important results is very also easy to find out this answer. It is usually in the findings or results and discussions. So you have to read first and then come up with your own conclusion of what is actually the important results. Okay, what important results of the article. And the last one is conclusion. Very easy. Conclusion, it's in the part of the conclusion before the references. Please read carefully, understand it deeply, comprehend it nicely, and then you transfer the conclusion of the article here. Okay? For the references. Okay. So this is very easy. So you're gonna work for a week in identifying. So you are going to write search 10 articles for this week, and 10 articles are the last 10 years articles, which is you're gonna search about the research method used for the in English language teaching for the last 10 years. Okay, to answer this question, the second research question is very easy. After you fill out this one, we're gonna have a question and discussion sessions next week. Okay, and then we're gonna transfer it into the paragraphs, and we hope that our articles to answer this question can be published a week or submit. Oh no publish, but submit before the end of our course of this research methods on ELT, a program by Pembelajaran Jarak Jauh Kemendikbud 2021. I also want to, so this one is week 10. So that's actually the overview of what you're gonna search for the articles. So remember, you can search the articles into 2 platforms, but if you want to search it freely, like in the Google form, in the Googling, it's also okay. But I suggest you to read the reputed articles from Science Direct and Taylor and Francis online. Also, you can search the articles from the nationally accredited journal of Indonesian accredited journals. Okay, so I guess for now it's clear what you're gonna do. So you're gonna read how many articles? There are 10 articles you're gonna read. You're gonna read 10 articles, and don't forget, you're gonna fill these tables. You're gonna write the references, the problems of the articles. So each of the articles, you're gonna write the references, problems, research method used, important results, and the conclusions. And then I'm going to see you next week. I guess that's all from me today. So I hope every one of you understand. If you don't understand, or if you still have some questions, you can ask directly to the WhatsApp group we provide, and then also to the Elumag if you have some question. I guess that's all for today, and I really hope that everyone is staying healthy, staying safe, and I'm going to see you next week with another way in reading more 10 articles, and then we are going to start to write down the introduction, the main body, and also the conclusion of our project, small-scale research project of this course or subject, research methods on English language teaching. I guess that's all from me. I thank you very much. We'll see you again. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.